Surplice Capricorn Shura, no longer wearing the Capricorn gold cloth. But Shura's loyalty to Athena never wavered, even when he stepped into the sanctuary as a specter. He had not forgotten his duty as a saint. Now he has transformed into a special character to bring you new ways to battle. He will also create a new style known as the Bleed Team. Today we will show you how to use this new character, Surplice Capricorn Shura. Skills: Surplice Capricorn Shura. His unique ability to bleed is what makes him the core of the Bleed Team. He can apply up to 5 stacks of bleed on the enemy targets and trigger high debuff damage before their actions. This ability leads to many different Bleed Team setups, which we will talk in more detail later. First, let's look at his skills. Skill 1, Underworld Blade Strike. This is Shura's basic attack. At max level, it has a 100% chance to make the target bleed, accelerating the pace of the Bleed Team. When used with his 4th skill, Shura is guaranteed to have double actions in each round. However, this feature will be countered if the enemy team has Thanatos. Skill 2, Underworld Sacred Blade. 3-cost skill, deals 400% damage at max level. When used on a target already affected by bleed, it will hit the target one more time, dealing additional physical damage. It also ignores grace and revival effects. If the target is killed by this skill, Shura can cast it again on the next bleeding target with the lowest HP at no cost. The fiercest thing about this skill is that the no-cost bonus cast can even hit hidden units. So this skill becomes a highly formidable threat whenever the enemies are affected by bleed. Skill 3, Underworld Blade Slash. At the end of every even-numbered round, Shura deals damage to all enemy units. This attack also deals bonus damage based on the number of enemy units affected by bleed. You can treat this as a passive follow-up damage every 2 rounds. Skill 4, Underworld Will. This is the core skill of any Surplice Shura Bleed Team. It significantly accelerates the pace of bleed teams, making it a viable option in PvP. What this skill essentially does is, whenever Surplice Shura and his teammates apply bleed on the target, they will have an extra move and gain the Spectre Blade effect, converting the damage dealt into their own shield. If the shield capacity exceeds their own HP, they will also gain bonus life steal. Out of all 4 skills, the second skill has the lowest priority. You can level it up last. Focus on Skill 4 and Skill 1 first. In essence, you can treat Skill 4 like a Sexton's for teammates who are able to apply bleed effect. On top of that, it gives them a shield equal to the damage dealt, and even the lifesteal ability to heal themselves, making it an extremely powerful and versatile skill. Attributes. The choice of Cosmo will determine Surplice Shura's play style. There are 2 mainstream styles, namely the high speed and low speed. The recommended Cosmo setup for high speed Surplice Shura is Branches, the Cross, Naga Pearls, and Myrrh. For low speed, Branches, Morning Glory, Naga Pearls, and Fuchsia. Compared with other damage dealers, Surplice Shura is more fragile. So when it comes to secondary attributes, more HP is always desirable. To boost his survivability, in Bleed Team, Surplice Shura plays more of a support role rather than a damage dealer role. Still, he has very high base physical attack. So physical attack in percentage is a decent attribute. Lifesteal, on the other hand, enhances his sustainability in long battles. So it's also recommended to include a few lifesteal attributes in your Cosmo setup. Lineup. As a special character, Surplice Shura isn't very impressive when played alone, but when used in a Bleed Team, he can have a decent win rate. It's also worth noting that Bleed Teams are mostly mid to late game teams. Recommended lineup: Spectre Xion, Divine Doko, AE Saint, Surplice Shura, Divine Taurus, Hades alone. Your priority is to use all the protection mechanism to survive till the 2nd round. Avoid casualties at all costs. Then stack up your bleed debuff to high deal damage. Divine Doko's basic attack can trigger his sword, and in his extra move, triggered from applying bleed, he can give the Nunchucks buff to AE Saint. In AE Saint's Scorpio form, he can choose to burst one enemy down or finish off the enemy with low HP. If the team HP is low, you may swap to Ares to protect the team. Surplice Shura's basic attacks will keep stacking bleed on the enemies. If you have sufficient energy, use Divine Taurus to knock the soul of your opponent's key character out. Use Divine Doko's basic attacks on bleeding targets to trigger his spear. Then use Rising Dragon Punch to reduce all enemies' PATK, apply bleed, and detonate the bleed effects. From now on, it is the Bleed Team showtime. In every subsequent round, the enemy team will receive 2 bleed effect detonations, and soon they will all have 5 stacks of bleed on them. The damage potential is incredibly high. The next option is a Bleed Team with super defense. Recommended lineup: June, Awakened Sayori, Hypnos, Divine Doko, AE Saint, Surply Shura. This lineup utilizes the outstanding sustainability of June and Hypnos, Awakened Sayori's high healing, as well as AE Saint's healing when the Crystal Wall's shield breaks. To survive through the early game, use Divine Doko's basic attacks, then give his buff to Hypnos to increase his healing and damage. Once you survive to the 3rd round without being significantly controlled, it's time for Divine Doko to shine. Alright, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time!